thinking about traffic lights, sometimes I feel like they are set up in a sequence so that if you miss one light, like if I hit one red light, I'm gonna constantly hit red lights going forward. When I run the yellow light, when I like go through on the yellow, I am able to keep hitting green lights. But if I stop at that red light, I feel like I just keep hitting red lights moving forward. Let's figure this out. Why do I keep hitting red or green lights, all red or all green lights? The feeling of constantly hitting all red or green lights is often due to a combination of traffic, light timing, speed, and perception. Traffic lights are often timed to optimize the flow at a specific speed, and when you deviate from that speed, you are more likely to encounter red lights. It can also be a psychological effect where you only notice the red lights when you're in a hurry and forget about the green ones. Okay, let's look at this Quora thread. I'm skeptical of a Quora thread, always. Let's see what David Moore says about this. Why is it that when one stoplight turns red just before you get there, all the next stoplights also turn red just before you get there? That is my question. That's the question I'm trying to answer. Okay. They can only synchronize the stoplights at a two-way street in one direction. They are giving priority to the traffic going in the other direction from you. The other direction is getting all the greens and you were getting all the reds. I find this extremely annoying. I also find annoying when city traffic person says they're going to solve the traffic problem by synchronizing all the lights in the street. I have to ask him which direction. I feel like he's just explaining the experience of it, where he's saying like you can synchronize all of the lights in one direction or you can synchronize all the lights in another direction. But this is the right question. Why is it that can I click on the question? No. But this is the question. Why is it that when you hit one stoplight turns red just before you get there, all the next stoplights also turn red before you get there? That is the question. Okay, let's go back to this. Many traffic signals are synchronized to allow a smooth flow of traffic at a specific speed, usually at the speed limit. If you're driving at or near that speed, you'll likely encounter a green light at the next intersection, while deviating from that speed, either faster or slower, will cause you to hit a red light. That's not true, though. That's just, like, I'm not speeding and I'm not going that slow. The experience is, I pull up to a light, and it's just as it turns red, and I go, all right, I'm gonna hit my brakes. I stop at the light, I pull up to the next light. It turns red just before I get there. And that happens for all of the lights that I hit. Then another day, I'm feeling like I'm in a hurry. I hit that yellow light, I go through it, and I hit every other next light. They're all green then moving forward. What is that about? That is the question that I have. Okay, so I've heard of something, I think it was Rory Sutherland said this. This guy, yeah, Rory Sutherland said, I heard him on Chris Williamson's show, he talked about the green wave. Green wave traffic lights. Okay, here we go. A green wave occurs when a series of traffic lights, usually 3 or more, are coordinated to allow traffic flow over several intersections in one main direction. Any vehicle traveling along the green wave at approximate speed decided upon by traffic engineers, so they want you to travel at the correct speed. Okay, that makes sense. We'll see a progressive cascade of green lights and not have to stop at intersections. This allows higher traffic loads and reduces noise and energy use because less acceleration and braking is needed. Cool. It's practical use only by a group of cars known as a platoon, and the size, which is defined by the signal times, right? Because like a certain number of cars are going to come through. That's going to be like the amount of cars that can come through the green wave. These are all of the advantages of it. A green wave in both directions may be possible with different speed recommendations for each direction. Otherwise, traffic coming from one direction may reach the traffic light faster than from the other direction if the distance from the previous light is not mathematically a multiple of the other direction. Alternatively, a dual carriageway may be suitable for green waves in both directions if there is sufficient space in the central reservation to allow pedestrians to wait and separate pedestrians crossing stages from each side of the road. What's a dual carriageway? A dual carriageway, a road with a median strip between the traffic in opposite directions and typically 2 or more lanes in each direction. Oh, so when they're saying, okay, when I was imagining opposite directions, I was imagining like the traffic going like north-south and the traffic going east-west. But what they mean, I think, is the traffic going north and the traffic going south. Like those are the opposite directions. That makes more sense. Okay, this is the green wave. Is there a red wave? That's basically what I'm talking about. Not turn on red. This is another Quora, which again, I'm going to be skeptical of. But how can I catch the red light at every traffic light on my commute? It seems I drive at the speed limit. Okay, this is 4 years ago. Traffic lights along the main road are typically synchronized to optimize the flow of traffic in a certain direction at certain times of the day. Traffic going that direction is able to pass in waves through many lights in a row without stopping. Often the timing is reversed from the morning to the afternoon to accommodate the reverse flow of traffic. Perhaps your commute is the opposite direction than most. Depending on the spacing of the light, it will mean that when you catch a green light, as the majority wave moves past you in the opposite direction, you will catch the red between the waves of the next light. As the next wave comes and you get the green, you will again get to the next light before the next light between waves for the red. Okay, let's figure out how to think about this, because I think he's on to something. I want something more concrete. Why do I keep hitting all the red lights? This is from KOAA News 5. Frisbee says it's important for all drivers to go when they get a green light. Don't try to beat a yellow light and stop on red. Okay, I understand that from a safety perspective, but why is it the case that when I go through the yellow light, I'm gonna hit more green lights than moving forward? We've all been behind the person who is on their phone instead of paying attention to the road, causing a delay when the light turns green. Frisbee says that can also mess up the flow of traffic at that intersection. Yeah, that happens a lot as well. So that's the other thing. Oh God, that makes me so angry. When people are on their phone, and I can tell because when you're not on your phone, there is a human delay because you're looking at the light and you go, oh yeah, it turned green, and you start going. When you are on your phone, it's like an extra 2.5 to 3 seconds. And it can really screw up, especially like left turn signals that only last for a few seconds. Really screw that up where I'm like the third car in line and I'm running it on the yellow. Just a little side pet peeve of mine. This did not answer my question. This green wave thing is the closest I've gotten to answering the question. There's a graphic here. Let's go back to this. Let's see if this could be helpful. If I can understand this, and maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I can't figure this out. Okay, this is a fascinating graphic. So let's say I'm here, I'm at a red light, and then I go. Oh, well, let's wait for it to turn green. So green, I pull up, green, green. Now, could I get desynchronized from it? So what it seems like is that these are traffic lights that are sort of synchronized up. The green wave idea is that the traffic lights are synchronized up to keep the traffic flowing. But there's an opposite thing going on that I'm noticing. We're going to ChatGPT. What do I want? I'm just going to ask Chat the question, why is it that when driving you hit one red light, and when you hit one red light, you seem to hit all of them? We're going to Chat. See what Chat can give us. So I understand the confirmation bias side of it. Like, that's certainly the case. Okay, so there's the traffic signal timing or lack of coordination. In many cities, traffic lights are not well synchronized, especially outside of main arterial roads. If you're unlucky and you hit a red light, the odds are higher that you'll arrive at the next intersection just as the light turns red too, especially if your speed doesn't match the system's green wave when the lights are timed for cars traveling at a certain speed. Slowing down for one red light can knock you out of sync for the rest. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So it seems like it's a it's a lack of coordination of the lights. There's a confirmation bias, yes, obviously. Increased traffic volume. If you're driving during busier times, traffic lights tend to favor cross-section traffic or pedestrian phases more often. More people, more phases, more lights. Stop and go ripple effects. Getting stopped once also means that you'll fall into the clump of cars that also just got stopped. This forms a mini traffic cluster, so you'll end up slowing down more often and missing the green windows. If it bothers you enough, a tip to try is drive at a steady pace slightly below the speed limit on main roads. Some cities actually optimize their lights for that, but if you're in an area with poor signal coordination, it's mostly luck and timing. I think I just have poor signal coordination in my area. That's what I'm wondering. Your sources for this. I'm always skeptical of ChatGPT because, like, sometimes I know it does hallucinate. It's doing better now, but, like, still. Okay, the FHWA's Traffic Signal Timing Manual explains how coordination systems aim to sync traffic lights along coordinators' green waves and how disruptions like pedestrian calls or vehicle platoon timing can quickly break that coordination. What is vehicle platoon timing? Let's check this. Vehicle platoon timing involves coordinating the movement and spacing of vehicles in a convoy to optimize traffic flow and safety. This includes managing acceleration, braking. Oh, this is just like how a bunch of cars move together, maintaining appropriate space, ensuring that disturbances like braking and acceleration propagate smoothly through the platoon. It is essential to prevent accidents and maintain stable formation. I think what they're saying here is that if a bunch of vehicles could move out of sync, they can quickly break the coordination. I think of that scene from the Lego movie where all the cars move at once, and every time I'm in traffic, I go, can't we be like in the Lego movie where the light turns green and then just all the cars move as one unit? Cities without optimized coordination, drivers end up stopping at nearly every light just by missing the ideal speed or timing window. Let's see, this is the FHWA operations. I feel like, oh my goodness. Can I read? What is the, let's find the keyword here. This is the most government website I've ever seen. All right. Oh, this is how you figure it out. Oh my goodness. These are coordination mechanics. Whoa. This is amazing. I found it. Oh my goodness. This is a little bit too complicated for me to understand. Oh, this has to do with there's two pedestrians, the coordination phases, the non-coordinated phases. Whoa, a typical 8-phase intersection. Coordination, this is getting in the weeds of it. Whoa, I should read this whole thing. And I feel like I would have the answers. Optimize coordination. Let's just look up the word coordination. Okay, here we go. This chapter focuses on the concepts of coordination and traffic signals. Coordination is a tool to provide the ability to synchronize multiple intersections and enhance the operations of one or more directional movements in a system. Examples include, oh my goodness. Whoa, just the terminology here alone is insane. Coordination, the ability to synchronize multiple intersections to enhance the operation of one or more directional movements in a system. Double cycle, a cycle that allows phases to be serviced twice as often. I really just wanted to figure out why I got stopped on red, and I have ended up down a rabbit hole here. Okay, principles of coordinated operation. The decisions to use coordination can be considered in a myriad of ways. There are numerous factors used to determine whether coordination would be beneficial. Establishing coordination is easier to justify when the intersections are in close proximity and there's large amounts of traffic on the coordinated street. The MUTCD provides the guidance that traffic signals within 800 meters, so half a mile, of each other along should be coordinated unless operating on different cycle lengths. And coordination means, I believe what coordination means is that you move on the green light. And I think what it sounds like here is that the goal is for that to be the case. But sometimes cities don't have optimized coordination because they haven't probably read the traffic signal manual. Oh, this is the U.S. Department of Transportation Federal Highway Administration. This is crazy. This is so in-depth. I almost want to if I were to print this out, how many pages would it be? 36 pages. Just 36 dense pages of text and graphics explaining traffic patterns. I love it. I love it. And what it sounds like is, there are a number of factors going on here. So there's the traffic signal, timing, and coordination, which I think is probably the main problem. There's perception and confirmation bias. Yes, I'm going to be more likely to notice the red lights. Absolutely. There's the stop and go ripple effect behavior. Research into red light running behavior and stop and go dynamics show how one stop can knock your travel out of sync on subsequent signals, especially at intersections with poor timing or short cycle coordination. Oh, let's look at this. This looks like what I'm looking for. A review on drivers' red light running behavior predictions and technology-based countermeasures. Let's just read the abstract here. Red light running at signalized intersections is a growing road safety issue worldwide. Yes, leading to the rapid development of advanced intelligent transportation technologies and countermeasures. Whoa. Again, massive study on the red light running behavior. Lots of information here. And yeah, it's dangerous. You don't want people to run the yellow light. Absolutely. You want people to stop. But it sounds like if your lights are out of sync, if they're not coordinated, what do they have? If they don't have optimized coordination, then if you miss one green light, you're going to miss all of the other green lights because they're not timed up properly with each other. And there's a little summary here they put together. Poor coordination, timing lights are not aligned across intersections. So you have multiple intersections and the timing of those lights is not aligned. Cognitive bias, brain registers negative more strongly, of course. Ripple from one stop, slow pace carries through others. So if we have one person who doesn't, respond properly, what do they call the group of cars? That was so funny. A vehicle platoon. If the vehicle platoon timing is not ideal, then that can cause an issue. And the emotional response, the uncertainty of waiting, amplify stress. So I think that's our answer. It's complicated. Part of this is just bad timing, that they're not coordinated properly. Part of this is that our brain is going to register the negatives more strongly. And part of this is, even when they are timed properly, if somebody's watching TikTok, they're going to screw up that timing and we're not going to hit the green wave, especially if you're in a platoon of cars. Okay, so that's the answer to the question. Maybe I should write a letter to my city's Department of Transportation and say, hey guys, you need to read the U.S. Department of Transportation's Federal Highway Administration Traffic Signal Timing Manual, because I think your lights might not be quite coordinated. I hope this video was interesting. This was fascinating for me. So if you like more videos like this, please let me know. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everybody.